Good day, everybody. Good evening, wherever you are. I'm taking a pause because this has just been a, 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 a myriad of powerful issues to process within the last few weeks, several weeks. So today is no different. This is an example of why I'm not sure how to take the issues anymore as far as how government is addressing our real world pandemic problem and all the problems that are coinciding with this worldwide global crisis. In New York City, the mayor of New York just issued, a press conference. He just delivered a press conference a few hours ago, and reported that the New York City school system will be closed until September. Just now, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, the mayor of New York is Bill DeBlasio, who you see right there on the screen in this video, and Governor Cuomo just mentioned that schools will not be closed. The New York City schools will not be closed in June or through June. I don't know where he gets June from because the mayor said the schools will reopen in September, and the governor is saying that is not what's going to happen. The mayor apparently, according to what the reporters are asking the governor, the mayor believes that businesses will reopen in May, but schools will close for the remaining of the year, for the remainder of the year, and reopen in September. Now you could see the conflicts. You could, you're witnessing government turbulence right before your eyes, people. You're witnessing that from a local and statewide perspective. I'm not going to talk about the national point of view right now. Um, I'm talking about from the local and statewide level. This has been a fight between the local and state for who knows how long, where they don't see eye to eye. The governor's position is the, the, the decision to reopen schools and businesses together, because they have to open together, is a decision that has to be a collective, sort of like a concerted effort among different counties, not just New York City, but the neighboring counties such as Long Island, which is comprised of Nassau and Suffolk County, and then further north from New York City, Westchester and possibly Rockland County, and also the two neighboring states, Jersey and Connecticut. He believes that this needs to be, a regional type of decision and effort to be made to address um, the need for schools to open and businesses to reopen together. The mayor has an entirely different view. And who gets affected by all of this? But we do. The people who are looking for support, assistance, relief, answers to our thousands of questions, concerns that we have. We are the ones who are looking for this. We are the ones, we meaning everyone, children, ourselves, our families, the communities are looking for these leaders to get it together. And it's crazy. That's just an understatement to say that this stuff is crazy. It's just not even the right term at this point. Um, the mayor is trying to provide iPads to all the kids who go into school. All the kids in the school system, public schools, by the end of this month. So he's trying to create a situation where thousands of iPads could be delivered to children in their hands, given to children in their hands within the next 2 weeks. I mean, and then have like some type of setup where, parents can receive support in this time, because if you're asking parents to go to work, what happens to the kids if they remain home, which is what the governor was saying. And I can understand that position very clearly because it's true. But the governor just basically said it's his decision. It's his decision to make, not the mayor's. The mayor cannot make the decision. So it's just this. I don't know. When you think about things on a more simpler perspective, the ego is so. I don't know. People, you know, I don't know if this is a power type of ego who has the final say, and you can hear the logic in what the governor is saying, but also you could see what the mayor is saying is just two different views, two different opinions. He valued, Governor Andrew Cuomo valued the mayor's position, and just believes that it has merit, but it's not something that's finalized as of right now. So there's government for you. Um, also at the end of the governor's press conference today, a reporter asked the governor to address a concern from hospital workers who have been complaining that there are not enough supplies being given out by way of personal protective equipment. As recent as 4 hours ago, the reporter said that they've gotten complaints, they've received notice that there are a bunch of hospital workers who are complaining to this day that there are not enough personal protective equipment. And you constantly hear through the media that there's untold thousands and millions of personal protective equipment, being made and distributed to everyone who needs it. I keep saying it, and it's just falling on deaf ears. It's not happening. It's not true. Okay? It's not true. And before the governor was given a chance to answer that question, or not given a chance to answer the question, because he seemed like he was waiting to hear it and he was about to answer it. Right when he was about to answer the question, the stream cut off. It's just a bunch of weird shenanigans that are taking place. Weird, confusing, things are not clear. There's lack of clarity, and people are just being affected by it. You know. Now we're going to talk about the national level. Um, the president wants to open the country back up. That's been his thing. Yeah, he initially he talked about it, and then he had to really concede and say, no, it's about saving lives. But the rhetoric changed, and it's about opening the country back up again. You know, and a date that's being thrown out is, the supposedly uh, the president wants to open the country back up by May 1st. Remember before it was he wanted to open it on Easter? Well, that's not happening. He changed his mind. And now, he's using his mental metric to identify when. And that when can be, the rumors are that it could possibly be by May 1st. How the ramifications of this level of disconnection, and not just from the president, not just from the governor, but from all of them, like it's just huge and can affect us all in so many adverse ways that we can't even imagine right now. And the fear is, because there's a fear, I think the fear is so ingrained in our spirit right now that we don't know how wide the consequences can reach. Those of us who are at the bottom, we can see it. We can see where this is going. When you're going outside and you're trying to shop for groceries, or when you don't even have the monies to shop for groceries, when you don't even have answers to tell your kids, you know, what's happening, to give them some kind of solace when people around you are being affected the same way that you are. Social ills are rearing their head at an untold amount, like at an unprecedented rate. Social ills and violence is taking place as we speak right now, right? And there's this uncertainty, this little element of uncertainty, and then when you have these people who are trying to make the decisions on our behalf, who can't see eye to eye. It's significant, and it's clear and obvious that the worst is yet to come. And that's just the facts. That's just the facts. If the mayor's talking about doing something that the city school system has never seen before by shutting the schools down through the end of June and reopening it in September, and trying to, create initiatives or something to help, deal with those issues, the trauma, the problems, all of the deficits that are apparent right now. Um, and then the governor saying something else, that he doesn't agree with that he can't project, that no one can really predict properly whatever models or tools and charts that people have. You can't make accurate predictions, and there's validity across all of the lines of what they're presenting, but there's no uniformity right now. What's uniform is the fact that people are dying at an alarming rate. People are dying. That's what's uniform. That's what people can agree on. Okay? People can agree on that. But it just shows how imperfect we are. It just shows the imperfection, and how unprepared and ill prepared we've been. When the president is talking about how Haynes has stepped up to create N95 masks, and you're hearing all this thing about stockpile with ventilators, about how states have to bid, against each other for ventilators, and how these companies, 3M, Haynes, whatever, are volunteering to, create equipment and supplies to send to the people. And I'm hearing millions and millions and millions, and it hasn't even reached the people yet. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. I don't care how whatever they're saying on the news. I'm not talking about, like, it's just two different levels of reality. It's a parallel universe that's taking place at the same time. And I'm not talking about, our lives versus marine life. I'm talking about the parallel disconnect that's taking place right now. With what you're hearing on the news is not actually what's taking place on the ground. It's not. It's just not. You know, a gentleman who I respect greatly. He makes videos. Crypto Saint, very powerful individual, and his stance is completely controversial and unconventional, but it's sound when he exclaims his positions on these things. And he just made a video recently about telling people, to just basically quit your jobs, regardless if you're essential or not, and not to talk about essential meaning if you're not saving a life. And this is powerful. And this point really, like, really, it just drives everything home. If you're not saving a life, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a nurse, if you're not actually in the hospitals within the healthcare system, you're really trying to save lives, then really consider why are you putting your life on the line every day that you go out there. But I have to add that, there's different positions who are deemed essential, who are needed to, keep things running. You need law enforcement, you need, transportation personnel, you need sanitation personnel, you need, certain elements of industry in place that is constantly working. But I get his point. I definitely get his point, because people are dropping like flies, and the government is having a hard time keeping it together. I think, and I think if the lockdown that people are afraid of, I don't know what it is. I don't know why people are afraid to accept it, because what I'm talking about is just martial law. Because this is just, we're being fed, a spoonful of death slowly. When you hear the news and you hear what's going on, I mean, the mayor today saying that the schools will be closed for the remainder of this year, of the school year, it's just telling you that, okay, what are these people trying to pacify you with? Why are they acting in such a passive way, telling you something and spoon feeding you very slow of what when the hammer's gonna drop? If you're gonna institute martial law, just do it already. Get it over with if it's going to come, because this right here is a slow dying process. Okay, because little by little we're seeing everything. We're seeing the handwritings on the wall. The handwritings are on the wall. It's letting you know already. Our freedoms are being taken away, little by little by little by little, until boom, the hammer drops. Just get it over with, then, man. Don't piss on my head and tell me it's rain over a period of time, because then after a while it's just going to be what it's going to be, and then it's worse by then. Every day that the country is not functioning the way it was functioning 2 months ago is so much more deprivation, depression, and devastation that we'll have to face moving forward. That's why the president is desperate to turn the country back on. That is why, because each day on this calendar, as each day goes by, it pushes society further and further away than what it used to be. A functioning society. Well, functioning is, subjective, but you get what I'm trying to say. Each day that the country is at the state that it's in right now is is going to lead to serious problems long term. Even at this point right now, you have people who are, analysts and economists, and those who are, um, experts in different areas are, of course, you can't go by, predictions, but they're saying that here we are, this is the recession, here we are, this is the next Great Depression, with high rates of job losses, high rates of unemployment. The SBA can't really seem to, help the people the way that they're supposed to help the people. Folks are still waiting on the stimulus checks, even though they did say initially that April 13th was the date that they were going to, distribute the checks. But people are waiting. People are waiting. Somehow the narrative changed to April 9th, and now people are even more furious because no stimulus checks were distributed as yet. We'll see on Monday how that changes, if it changes. Um, the job losses, businesses are just wiped out. If you look on Craigslist, I was perusing through the internet, and I even looked on Craigslist, and I'm seeing people selling their businesses for $25,000, up to millions of dollars. They're just selling their businesses, whatever it is, whatever capacity, any type of business you can think of. They're already trying to advertise and sell their businesses, and those prices are like people are that trend will continue within the next couple weeks. Within the next couple weeks, this is a day by day, slow, painful process for everyone involved, And like I've said, the lawsuits are coming. You make no mistake about it. People are going to seek restitution, monetary compensation for the loss that no type of money can replace, but they're going to look for something. They're going to find it. They're going to do whatever it takes to find it. And in the meantime, we have to deal with this thing on a moment by moment basis every day. Every day feels like a year. Every day you got to think about your loved ones. You got to think about yourself. You got to think about what to do to not contract some type of whatever this is phenomenon, so that you don't fall ill or expose others, to become ill and contract the disease and ultimately die. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I can't even envision a country opening May 1st if schools are still closed. A country going back to work May 1st if schools are still closed, and people who are supposed to be asymptomatic, who are still carriers, who can still infect other people, whatever, going sending them back to work. Many are not tested, won't get tested, and then the problem continues. People are saying that the summertime. People are saying that the summertime, um, they could be if things are done prematurely in haste by way of allowing people to get back to work, that it can just cause a resurgence of people getting reinfected, or another wave of corona hitting. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So Saint says, quit your job. Save your life. Save your life. Save the life of your loved ones. Save your life. Get it together. Figure it out. And because it gets back to that survival. It's about surviving. It's about understanding that what monetary value you place on your life. There's no dollar that's enough. Especially essential workers. We're not rich. We don't make a lot of money at all, and then you being told to sacrifice your life for the crumbs that we get, that helps us, that we need to to pay our way in life, and just go out there, be expendable, be. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you're looking at these leaders, and they just don't wait till what. I mean, I'm not looking forward to what, any more press conferences, because each press conference that passes by, it's like, if you want to get your emotions, if you want to feel like, become bipolar, high and lows, watch a press conference. Watch these press conferences. It'll take you to an emotional roller coaster, a psychological. It will just stir up all kinds of feelings continue to fuel, our levels of anxiety, our levels of uncertainty, our levels of just like, questioning everything. Believe no one in the media and question everything at this point. Question everything. Trust in nothing. Trust in nobody, but trust yourselves. Trust your family. Create your own plan. Like, really become uh, 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 sort of like the source of your own relief. You have to be that. You have to become that. Because right now we can't find it anywhere. When we go to these banks, it's hard for us to even, speak to a teller, because the banks are closed. There's only ATMs that are open, and certain banks, they only open certain hours, and you got to practice social distancing there. So the chances of you being seen by a teller, very slim. Hospitals, people are afraid to go to hospitals because they don't want to end up in a situation where no one can come see them. They'll rather ride it out. They'll rather ride out everything within their own homes, ride out whatever disease and sickness that they have within their own homes, and go to the hospital. People are afraid to even it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You go to the stores, the shelves, it's just shelves are bare. Some of the shelves just people just, I don't know, lines up the wazoo. Folks are, paranoid. The fear is growing. Paranoia is growing. Questions, uncertainty, and this didn't help. This didn't help people. This press conference right here didn't help people. You have kids who, are completely affected by this. They're still kids though. They don't really understand the scope, but they feel it. They feel it. They're also suffering. They're also suffering, and it's this proverbial tug of war that's taking place here, man. It's a tug of war. It's a tug of war, and everything is more than what it seems, man. Everything is a little bit more than what it seems. It's more than just about opening up the schools and the end of the year. It's more than just about, excuse me, it's more than just about, you know, opening up businesses in May 1st. Everyone has some type of, seems like everyone has some type of ulterior motive. And the movers and shakers who, are elected in these positions, seem like they have other motives or agendas, because this is where it's gotten to. This is where it's gotten to. Okay, once the relief checks start coming in, and hopefully they come in, and once they start coming in and people receive their unemployment, and for the time being, these are temporary, tapes that are being, you know, given out to apply on gaping wounds. The problem's still growing each day. Each day that passes by will have long-term effects in the future, and become the central source of your own relief. Seriously, like it's getting to that point. Reserve whatever you can reserve for yourself that you're going to need in every capacity. Um, Reserve and conserve. Reduce excess. That's what it seems like, man. And things have to become a lot more simplified to deal with this complex myriad and plethora of madness. Take care of yourselves. I'm out.